You're watching the 2019 SEC Gymnastics Championships from New Orleans. Welcome to the Smoothie King Center for our live coverage of the top conference in collegiate gymnastics. All 8 teams in the conference are here competing in 2 separate sessions. Earlier today, Alabama, Auburn, Missouri, and Arkansas competed, and Alabama, with a 197.35 season-high score, won Session 1. Now, it's time for the 4 highest-ranked teams: LSU, Florida, Georgia, and Kentucky. Hi, everybody. I'm Mark Connor, along with my fellow Olympic medalist, Kathy Johnson-Clark. Well, we're in Louisiana. So there are about 10,000 people in this building tonight that are hoping that LSU could win their 3rd consecutive SEC title.
And that's an advantage for LSU. They come in with a lot of momentum in the final regular season meet. They scored a season high and snatched that #1 spot from Florida. Florida, as the #2 seed, though, gets to start on bars, hit their 3 dominant meets, and save their nemesis vault for last.
Welcome to the 2019 SEC Gymnastics Championship. We're in Session 2, ready to start from the Smoothie King Center in New Orleans. And we welcome our new audience. We have 2 of the biggest stars in collegiate gymnastics, including the freshman phenom from Florida, Trinity Thomas, and the senior from LSU, Sarah Finnegan.
And we talk about these 2 because all season long they have demonstrated near perfection on all 4 events. So we are in for a great all-around competition, high-flying difficulty, so near perfection. Sarah Finnegan personifies elegance, grace, even in the most difficult skills. Perfect form throughout. It's gonna be fantastic.
And the SEC title will be handed out tonight, and it's likely to come from the teams in this session. Just a quick reminder, all 4 apparatus will run simultaneously, 6 athletes on each team on each apparatus. Just the 5 top scores towards the team total from each apparatus. There are 4 judges on each event. They drop the high and low scores. The average scores are remaining in the middle, and it is going to be a crazy night because we have 4 events all going simultaneously. A reminder that every routine can be seen on the ESPN app. Every apparatus has its own individual channel, plus the all-around channel where you can see all 4 apparatus at once. So you can follow every single routine of your favorite team on the ESPN app. We are set to go. The championship on the line, and there are some very, very compelling storylines. In the first rotation, the #1 qualifier, LSU, will be on the vault. Florida's on the bars, Georgia on the beam, and Kentucky on the floor. And here we go, Kathy Johnson-Clark.
That's Sydney Sneed for Georgia on the balance beam. Had a little balance break, a little short on those sleeves, but look at the vault from Sarah Finnegan. LSU, your top left corner, nailed that Yurchenko fold. I told you about perfection. She has time and time again proven that she can really go for it in these pressure situations. And Alicia Bourne for Florida on the uneven bars, starts them off strong, stuck landing, hit routine. This is a great event for Florida.
It's interesting that those 2 teams both led off with 2 of their biggest stars in lead-off roles.
Sydney Sneed had that little balance break early in the routine, showed a little bit of nerves, but fought through to the very end, stuck that landing. Georgia actually likes starting on the balance beam. They feel really confident there, and not every team can say that.
They'll have to finish on bars where they have struggled this year, so they hope to be a contender and then just hang on in that final rotation because they've shown some inconsistency on bars. But Georgia knows how to win this thing. They've already done it 16 times, would be going for their 17th SEC championship. Great crowd on hand, all 4 events going simultaneously. Sarah Finnegan led off LSU with a 9.9 on vault, and that brings up Ruby Harold.
Huge open score for LSU. This is a 1.5, a 10-0 start value. She has been good on this all season long, and that was her best right there. That's as much height and distance as I've seen from Ruby Harold. With this 1.5 twist, she'll land facing away from the table, and just that little half hop to the side.
What a thrill. She has been somewhat inconsistent on her landings, but boy, did she drill it when they needed it. Amelia Hundley now for Florida. She's coming up second after Alicia Boren led them off with a 9.85.
Watch this combination. Transitions from the low to the high with the release, right back down to the low bar. Slight leg separation, but she has phenomenal technique. Look at the straight arms throughout the entire routine. There is no muscle up at all. It's full swing all the way to the dismount. Huge half in, half out, and a nailed landing.
Florida, the number 3 team based on national qualifying score ranking on bars in the nation.
Judges are looking for this handstand to be right on top of the bar. They will deduct if they are short of that vertical position in handstand. She goes above and beyond because she's so straight in those handstands. And look at the landing.
And another 9.9 in the bucket for LSU. So Spinnigan and Harold, the first 2 9.9s. What a way to start for the defending champions. That brings up McKenna Kelly.
Front pike with a half twist. It's different. No round off on the board.
Oh my!
Vault. That's the best one she's done all season long. She glued her feet to the mat.
Wow.
Watch this. So much power behind the vault. Her chest was down just a tiny, tiny little bit. But look at that. I think she just erased the whole chest down thing. It looked beautiful.
And there's McKenna Kelly's famous mom, Mary Lou Retton, the 1984 Olympic gold medalist.
And she knows exactly what that vault feels like. That was her second vault at the Olympics, so love it.
What a start for LSU. 3 spectacular vaults, putting pressure on Florida now. Savannah Shane here coming after Amelia Hundley notched a 9.9 for the Gators.
Beautiful on top of the bar pirouette before her single bar release. Love the patience that she is showing to hit every position. Had to adjust the grips a little on that after the bail handstand.
Shane here, one of the 6 fabulous freshmen for Florida.
It's a double front head. Fantastic landing. They are on fire.
What an opening rotation. We're seeing the best from the finest teams in the conference all going back to back. Just a moment ago, Lexi Priestman on the vault for LSU. You see they have 3 9.9s already.
She has not been in the lineup much. They have to take care of this body. She's doing a 1.5. Fought for the landing. A little bit short of rotation and a slight hop, but really tremendous effort on that vault. Good for her.
Big crowd on hand, and LSU is delivering in this first rotation in front of the 10,000 fans here in the Smoothie King Center. 3 9.9s. We're waiting for the score for Lexi Priestman, and they have 2 big vaults coming up. Florida doing its part as well on bars. Sarah Edwards set to go.
We have seen back-to-back stuck landings between Florida and LSU. They are really pushing each other in this competition.
Megan Skaggs set to go on bars for Florida as Savannah Shane here notched a 9.9.
Megan has incredible technique. Perfectly straight body in her swing. Such aggressive work we've seen on the bars from Florida so far. Really attacking those handstand positions, giving no doubt to the judges whether they've hit the position they need and nailing landings one after another. Gorgeous double layout, little leg separation, but only slight.
And a strong vault for Sarah Edwards at the same time for LSU.
Those legs go out to the side. The judges are sitting right on the side of the uneven bars. They don't see it quite as clearly as we do, but that'll be a teeny little deduction.
The NCAA Women's Basketball Championship continues tomorrow at noon Eastern on ESPN2 with Louisville, the top seed in the Albany Regional, taking on number 8, Michigan, in the second round. This game is also available live on the ESPN app. Sarah Edwards had the 9-8 for LSU, so that is the low score, the one they'd like to drop, and chances are they will, because Kennedy Edney will anchor this team, and you see her season-long average.
This is a huge opportunity, and she knows it. She has often come up with gigantic vaults in situations like this. 1.5. Easy in the air. Had to take that step on the landing, so that will be a deduction. But I like that she stayed calm. She didn't get ahead of herself and undercooked that vault.
Trinity Thomas now for Florida. We've mentioned the freshman phenom. What a year. 7 times this year she has scored 9.975 on 2 different events.
She's ranked tied for first on this event. Love that combination right up to the high bar. She shows great difficulty adding that pack salto down to the low bar. Another transition with a half turn.
Oh,
perfect
beautiful
handstand on top. Now watch this double layout. It is gorgeous. Floats it right in. From the side, you might see a tiny slide back on the stick. It's hard to see from the angle we just had. But it is, if there is a little slide, look at this. Transition right up to high bar, shoots it up to handstand, and a pack salto down to low.
What execution throughout. Superb.
Now watch this. Let's see if her feet move. Yep, they hop back, so they'll take a little deduction on that landing.
She's coming after Megan Skaggs, had a 9.925. So there's 2 9.9s, a 9.925, 9.85 for Alicia Bourne, and we wait on the score for Thomas, who is yet to turn even 18 years old. She came to Florida. She's a current member of the U.S. national team, and she's trying to manage the roles of collegiate competition as well as U.S. national team representation at the same time. Marissa Oakley on beam for Georgia.
You saw just a little bit of nerves there. This is a beautiful gymnast on balance beam. She has all the skills in the routine that she needs for a high score. She gave up a little bit that we saw on that balance break.
Rachel Dixon had a 9.9 season high in that rotation, but they have a 9.675 from Michaela McGee that they would like to replace, as Oakley gets a few notes from the legend herself, Courtney Kupets. Rachel Gowie has been in and out of the lineup for Florida this year, Kathy.
Actually,
good to have
mostly
her
out.
back.
She has been out for 5 meets in a row. She did bars in the final regular season meet once. So they put her at the end of the lineup. Her bar work is exquisite. But if she has the stamina to finish the routine strong, that's the question mark.
Alex Hyland from Kentucky starting her flow routine at the same moment. Kentucky's high score so far on floor is Haley Poland.
Here's the dismount, double layout. Has to pike down, didn't quite trust she had enough rotation, so she hops back.
Trinity Thomas's score, by the way, for Florida was a 9.85. We'll wait on the score for Rachel Gowie, but it promises to be very close after the first of 4 rotations.
Love that little move right there. Beautiful position in those leaps. Full split and even hit that wolf jump really well in the air.
Kentucky's ranked number 9. This is the 2nd year in a row in the SEC Championship that they are competing in the evening session. And they have 4 athletes on their team doing the all-around. So 16 of their 24 scores come from just 4 athletes.
Really strong routine, nice control on all the landings. Loved her leap passes. Very difficult dance.
Here is Rachel Bauman on the beam, the freshman from Plano, Texas.
This routine is stocked full of difficulty. And she shows off the great lines, full flexibility. Right there, you'll see the full split. Now watch this combination. It's a side aerial into a back layout step out. Extremely difficult. 2 back-to-back aerial moves. Balance error there. They will take a deduction for that.
Georgia currently ranked 8th in the country, showing a bit of nerves here in this first rotation on beam.
But I do like that they take risks because some of these skills in these routines are very risky. They're not holding back on them. The nerves are coming in the in-between and just not following through and finishing strong.
Gymnastics fans will know that her sister Alyssa competes as a sophomore for the University of Florida. And she's in this competition tonight as well.
Double twist, little hop to the side. Strong routine, as you said, a little bit of nerves though we could see.
I mentioned the super seniors who have really contributed a great deal to this team. Well, here is a junior, Molly Korth, who is all power, and she, as an all-arounder, is irreplaceable on this team. She does high level of difficulty with a great deal of consistency.
Starting with this full end, full twisting double back, first pass. Really good control on the landing. The chest might have been down a little bit.
Talking to Tim Garrison before the meet, I said, so tell me about your chances. And he goes, well, if all others have a normal meet and Molly does superbly, we have a great day. So as Molly goes, we go, he says.
I think that's a bumper sticker. Rudy to a layout step out. So the judges should also be looking at this choreography and all the movement on the floor where the toes must remain pointed throughout. It's not just the tumbling. Although these landings are crucial. A good landing is with the chest up high and no movement of the feet. You're allowed that one step back as long as it's not too large, and the front foot needs to stay down for no deduction.
So far, Kentucky has 2 unfortunately low scores on floor. Katie Stewart only a 9-0 and Ella Warren a 9-2. Remember, you count the best 5 of 6 scores, so they will have to count a low score in that first rotation. And time now for Sabrina Vega coming after Rachel Bauman got a 9.775.
Who just mounted the beam with an absolutely gorgeous giant seesaw from the board up to the beam, and those leaps are impeccable. Full split, full amplitude, and her posture and rhythm make her, oh no, not sure if they're going to give her credit on that connection. She had a little extra arm movement, and you have to connect those elements of difficulty to get bonus points or to get credit for the connection.
Another one of those young ladies that competed for the national team has a gold medal from the 2011 World Championships competing for the U.S. team.
Her required acro series is a back handspring layout step out. Well done. You can really see her rein in her nerves. She can really relax and perform this event when she's at her best. Aerial cartwheel to layout full. Well done. Just that one little balance issue, and depending on what they do with it, they may not give her the connection. We'll have to see.
So only 1.99 for Georgia on beam. That was Rachel Dixon. A 9.8 for Sydney Sneed, but 2 scores in the 9.7 range and 1.9675. Sydney Dukes now, the senior from Tyler, Texas, on floor for Kentucky, coming after Molly Korth notched a 9.9.
This is a really high energy routine. The choreography just keeps moving. Beautiful position in those leaps. Notice the full split. And in that ring, that foot was almost right to her head in that first leap. Front layout, nice position in the air.
Tim Garrison telling about her that he said she's become a polished performer And the great thing about what she does, especially in collegiate gymnastics, she rarely gives up unnecessary deductions.
Final pass, tuck double, good job trying to fight for that stick. Not quite sure they'll give it to her, but boy, she finessed it. Good for her.
One of 6 seniors on the Kentucky Wildcats team. They're going to graduate a lot of routines next year from people like this young lady, Sydney Dukes, Alex Highland, Katie Stewart. And yet Coach Garrison says they have some talent coming along, but there'll be big shoes to fill. So Florida has the early lead by 5/100ths of a point. Megan Staggs, a highlight on bars.
Absolutely, with 4 stock dismounts in this rotation, Megan came up big and just added to it.
And LSU with an outstanding opening rotation. And the first score of the meet, a 9-9 for Finnegan.
So exciting. Notice how she flares out of that fold. This is just beauty in motion. And she goes up on her toes to maintain that stick.
So as expected, this is going to be a close one. We think this one will come down to the final landing of the final athlete. And as you see, those are the rankings and the standings after the first rotation. It's Florida, LSU, Georgia, and Kentucky as we head to the second of rotation. It's fantastic down here in Louisiana. A lot of enthusiasm in this building, and we have a great one. You're not going to want to miss this gymnastic meet tonight. The SEC Women's Gymnastics Championship is brought to you by Dos Equis. Keep it interesante. Please enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. And by Burger King, introducing BK Cafe. Any size hot coffee for 50 cents and iced or frappe for just $1. And by Principal Investments, retirement insurance. The last 3 seasons of the SEC Championships featured Florida and then LSU winning the last 2. So they have dominated the conference the last few years. I'm Bart Connor along with Kathy Johnson-Clark. Very excited to be here in Louisiana, and there's a whole lot of people that are hoping that LSU could win their 3rd consecutive championship, Kathy.
Well, right at the end of the season, LSU, who had had a rocky start, they, in that final meet, just snatched the #1 ranking with their season-high score, so they got to start on vault in this competition as the #1 seed. Florida, who looked unbeatable on 3 of the 4 events during the season, they had got to start on bars, which is actually a benefit for them. They get to hit their 3 dominant events and then their nemesis vault for the last rotation.
All right, well, let's take a look how these teams have matched up of recent. Take a look at that. The meet point differential is very close in the last 4 times they have met, but Florida won twice and LSU won twice. So the stage is set. We're getting ready for the second of 4 rotations, and we are off to a wild start here in New Orleans. Stay with us, folks. Take a look at the scores after the first of 4 rotations. As expected, this is going to be close. Florida with a lead of 5/100ths of a point over LSU, followed by Georgia and Kentucky. Great crowd on hand here in Louisiana, and LSU has really poured it on here in the last part of the season, so a lot of excitement around this competition. A reminder that every routine can be seen on the ESPN app. Every apparatus has its own individual channel, plus the all-around channel, where you can see all 4 apparatus at once. So you can follow every single routine of your favorite school by going to the ESPN app. All right, the second rotation set to go. LSU on bars, Florida on beam, Georgia on floor, and Kentucky on the vault.
That's Sammy Durante on the right top on the uneven bars for LSU. She has been a great leadoff performer for them on this event ever since her freshman year. So far, high flying excellence in this routine. Little leg separation on that pack salto down. Elena Kwan was on the vault for Kentucky. And Amelia Hunley on the balance beam for Florida. Big dismount coming here, half in, half out. LSU gets the first stick on bars.
Jay Clark, the associate head coach, gives her congratulations. And we go to Hunley now, full screen, the junior from Hamilton, Ohio, for this outstanding Florida team.
Amelia has nerves of steel. She just has ice water in her veins. She's so competitive, so tough in these situations, which is exactly what you need for a leadoff performer on balance beam.
It's interesting that they're ranked 3rd on bars, beam, and floor in the nation, but only 8th in vault. So we'll be watching that last rotation to see if Florida can manage to hang on, considering they're finishing on their weakest event.
Well, as I mentioned, they were so dominant. They looked almost unbeatable on 3 of the events. And if they can recapture that, so far so good, with Amelia sticking that landing.
Big congratulations from Jenny Rowland, the head coach at Florida, who is in her 4th season there. Sydney Dukes a moment ago on vault after Elena Kwan from Kentucky led them off with a 9-8.
And both are performing full twisting. Yurchenko, oh, just a little step forward. There's a nice vault in the air. That's a 9.95 start value vault.
The NCAA Women's Basketball Championship continues tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2 with second-round matchups. Check local listings for the game in your area, and remember that all games are streaming live on the ESPN app. Scores in for Amelia Hunley from Florida on beam. That was a 9-9. What a terrific start as we get set to see Megan Skaggs.
This is one of my favorite balance beam routines. Love this opening, and as I've said, I am not a fan of a wolf turn, but she does it really well. Double turn there. It's very difficult, but hard to make look pretty, hard to finesse it.
The sophomore from Marietta, Georgia, 2018 all-freshman SEC team.
Nice split position on both of those, the first leap and into the jump. Love the straight legs on the back handspring without step. You'll often see some soft knees on that acrobatic series from some. And in order for, really what the judges need to do is when you have an athlete who has that kind of technique, you have to remember to deduct for those who don't have it. Legs a little far apart on that landing, but she slides the heels together, gets the stick.
They're celebrating over there 10 times they've won the SEC championship. Now LSU, great start on bars.
Love
Ruby
this
Harold is up.
bar routine. It just takes off flying. Sorry to jump all over you, Barb, but you got to hit the ground running on this routine. It has so much packed into a short, sweet routine. Into the dismount, double tuck.
Oh, nice.
Almost got that stick. Just a little adjustment with that 1 foot.
The 2-time Olympian from Great Britain. super on the bars for LSU. Just a moment ago on the vault for Kentucky, Alex Highland.
Beautiful technique on that Yurchenko full. I like the way she drops that arm. It's just an unusual technique. Really catches your attention. Nice straight body throughout.
Her score was a 9.85, and they need that because they're trying to replace a 9.6 from Danae Davis.
This is a 1.5 twist. Their first 10 start value vault in the lineup. Oh, close to that stick. Little adjustment there, but nice to see her go for the bigger, more difficult vault.
Alicia Boren set to go on the beam for Florida, coming after Megan Skaggs. Got a career-high 9.95. In fact, that's the highest score of these SEC championships so far on beam, and she's only the second athlete up for Florida.
Well, they ended the last session on a very high note with Georgia on the balance beam. We saw a 9.95 from Lexi Graber. So, little balance check. They will take a deduction there.
Kennedy Edney for LSU at the same time on the bars. Ruby Harrell, by the way, had a 9.85.
Two big skills. Right there's the first. Little close on that Hindorf. She caught with bench arms, but she made the catch. Nice bail to handstand.
Edney has really come on as an all-arounder this year.
This is the best part of her routine. This double layout is as good as it gets. Perfectly straight. Looks like a spinning pencil in the air. Just ramrod straight. And a great landing.
LSU is drilling the landings, and often championships come down to stuck landings. LSU's doing its part. Katie Stewart had a 9.825 after Alex Highland's 9.85. Final vaulter for Kentucky, Molly Court.
Their second 10-0 start value vault right here, 1.5, and she gets the stick.
How about that for the junior from Wisconsin?
Now, I know a lot of people think the stick is just everything. It's huge. It's important. They look for form throughout. Pretty good. A slight leg separation right before the landing. But other than that, pretty darn good.
And the score comes in for Molly Korth. It is a 9.925. That ties her for the highest score of the day on vault so far at these SEC championships. Score they were trying to replace was a 9.6 from Davis, so a huge improvement there in that final vaulter under pressure. Molly Korth delivers for the Wildcats. Kennedy Edney's score for LSU on bars is in, and that brings up Lexi Priestman. This year, she scored a perfect 10 on this event.
She has two big releases in this move. The first one on high bar right here. And she goes right to the second. The Pac Salto did a much better job keeping those legs together on that second release. Really strong so far. Good handstand to set up the dismount. Let's see if she can get the stick. Double layout. Really, really well done.
This team is pumped. Rachel Gowie on the beam for Florida. Alyssa Boren before her had a 9.875. So great scores for Florida on beam so far. A 9.9, a 9.95, and a 9.875.
And Rachel is so beautiful on this event. This is her first competitive routine, however, in weeks. So under this immense pressure, she's going to do a triple series right here. Two layout step outs out of the back handspring. Attacks the landing. Wow.
Three-time All-American from Urbandale, Iowa, 2018 All-SEC.
Beautiful front aerial to that C-zone. Absolutely impeccable. Now, I have to say the judges are in a little bit of a pickle. They've thrown some very, very high scores already, and there are a lot of really good beam workers coming up. So, gainer full. Beautiful landing. Nice job. If you've never competed balance beam, you don't know what it's like if you've been out of the lineup for that many weeks and the coach has the trust in you.
Sarah Finnegan will be the final performer. You see her average 9.95, her national qualifying score. Ties her for third in the NCAA on this event. Lexi Priestman's score is in now, Kathy. It's a 9-9-2-5.
So watch for perfection here. The toe point, the straight legs, height, perfect distance from the bar on the release. So aggressive on these handstand moves. Let's see if she hits this one. I love that toe up. That transition up to high bar is nice. Sets up a double layout here. She can keep those legs together, which she does. That's superior. When you can really glue those legs together and hold that position in the double layout and get the stick, you got it. Get them going.
The reigning SEC all-around champion.
Watch this. Look at the height. They're looking for this amplitude 2 feet above the bar. And the extension, arms perfectly straight when you regrasp. That's how it's done. And this with the legs together, even from the end view. Beautiful.
The senior from Lee's Summit, Missouri gets the stick crown for LSU. And that brings us to the freshman from LSU, Trinity Thomas. She's coming after Rachel Gowie, notched a career-high 9.95, Kathy. You're right, the judges are way up there in the stratosphere with scores, and yet there's 2 fine bean performances coming.
These are some of the best bean routines in the conference.
And, in fact, in the country.
Switch lead path. I love the choreography in Trinity's routine, the way she faces forward, back, sideways. It's very diverse. Also in the skills, that's a one-arm back handspring to allow nice cover, but it was a cover. She has a balance break. Front aerial to wolf jump. We are so accustomed to seeing her be so close to perfect, to see her make a couple little mistakes. She didn't stick the ball, the bar landing. Sometimes it's just a matter of trying too hard. She's waited for this moment, got that little hop on the landing. Certainly a great routine. I don't want to diminish that at all, but it had a couple little blemishes.
Their low score so far for Florida on beam is a 9.875. Rachel Dixon will be up for Georgia on the floor. The highest score so far is Rachel Lucas, who was just before her with a 9.875.
So on floor, the judges are looking for these more difficult passes for big scores. You got to do an E, open tumbling run, and this is one of them. It's an Arabian double front. Good control.
Dixon, the junior from Canton, Michigan.
Here's her combination pass back, 1.5 twist to a front layout. Watch these leaps, hits those positions, gets the turn all the way around to get credit.
On this event, Georgia is ranked 7th in the country. Their highest ranked event is vault, which will be coming up next for them.
Can end with a double pike. It's a more difficult D element at the end of the routine. Really well done. And I love this. Nice finish.
Average score for Florida is a 9.9 on beam, and that brings up Alyssa Bauman, the sophomore sister of Rachel, who we saw earlier from Georgia.
And Alyssa has always been known for her balance beam work. She has just impeccable balance and form. She's just one of those natural beam workers. Watch the leap, the position in the air. Does the full split after the half turn.
And really finesses the landings, doesn't she?
Love the way she moves out of the full turn, keeps that rhythm going.
Also a World Championship gold medalist, competed in the 2014 Worlds in China with the U.S. national team.
Just the landing on the dismount left. This is a double twist. Actually a 1.5. Her sister does the double twist. All right, finally got a really good routine from her. She struggled a little bit the last time we saw her against Georgia. Nice to see the smile on her face. Watch this. Look at that, perfectly in line. You got to keep the center of gravity right over the center of the beam as you split and turn in the air. 1.5 twist, spots that landing, brings the heels together, and finishes.
And Sabrina Vega on floor coming after Rachel Dixon's 9.925. This routine is always a treat.
She gets your attention from the moment she salutes the judge and enters a routine like no one I've ever seen. And she has the difficulty. She's going to do a full twisting double back. Right there.
Nice.
Beautiful control. Now watch her leaps. This is what really sets her apart after this tumbling pass. Back 1.5, gorgeous position in both of those elements. Watch these leaps. Full split, very difficult. Switch ring, tourniquet half. And this one's even more difficult coming up. 1.5 turn, so it's a tourniquet with a full turn.
Only one score of 9.9 or better for Georgia on the floor, and that was Rachel Dixon's 9.925. Could be a big score here.
Oh, fantastic routine, but her chest was just a little bit down on that final tumbling pass, a double pike. She had everything in it. She had full difficulty. A full twisting double back here, form throughout, kept those toes pointed, and really shows off what many of these gymnasts can't do, and that's just exquisite positions in the air.
She gets some notes there from Suzanne Yocklin, the legendary coach. Now she's a volunteer coach at Georgia, but she led them to their 16 SEC championships and their 10 national titles. Florida killed it on the beam in that rotation, the fourth highest score in the NCAA this year, a 49.625, Kathy.
Florida was so poised. Every single athlete went up there and did their job. And for Rachel Gowie to step in, she's been resting her back for several weeks. You have to have nerves of steel to step up in this environment and hit like that. Good for them.
And with those superb scores, they drop the 9.825, and all the other 5 top scores count towards their team total, which gives Florida the lead by 0.2 of a point over LSU in this second rotation. The score in for Sabrina Vega on floor for Georgia, a 9.825. So it's Florida, LSU, Georgia, and Kentucky at the halfway point in the 2019 SEC Championship.
Georgia Gym Dog. I'm Alyssa Bauman, I'm a sophomore, and I'm a Florida Gator.
The reason I got into the sport was because of my older sister. Every day that I would see her in the gym working so hard towards her goal, it pushed me to work harder towards mine.
Now that she's a freshman at Georgia and I've already been in college for 1 year, I tried to just tell her, mostly just have fun with it, because getting to compete at an SEC school is going to be the most special years of your life. This is actually the first year that I'll compete against her. I've never competed against her before. We actually both are good on beam, and so we kind of joke around like, I'm going to beat you on beam this year.
I already told her, you get 1 year as a freshman, and then I'm coming in and I'm going to win. I can't wait for it.
My parents are kind of confused on, what to wear and stuff.
I try to make them like half and half shirts because I wanted them to like be split in the middle, not wear one and one wear the other. But I'll see how that turns out.
And there in the fuzzy headband is Gerald Bauman, the mother, and somewhere there comes a younger sister, Kaylee, in the house tonight, and they're wearing those split t-shirts. Flogia, Florida and Georgia split down the middle. Rachel Bauman, the freshman at Georgia, and Alyssa Bauman, the sophomore at Florida. Two athletes who are just at the highest level in collegiate gymnastics. What a family effort, Kathy.
I'm still smiling at those two little faces when they first started gymnastics. It's so neat to think that all these athletes here started the sport when they were that age, and there's just so much joy around that.
And the odds that they would make it to the highest level in collegiate gymnastics at the same time is pretty darn impressive. So as a father of a 12-year-old, hats off to mom and dad for doing a superb job. All right, when we come back, we'll move to the third rotation at the SEC Championships. Rotations. At the end of tonight, they will award the SEC Championship Trophy. Great crowd on hand, and a reminder that every routine can be seen on the ESPN app. Every apparatus has its own individual channel, plus the all-around channel where you can see all four apparatus at once. Follow every single routine of your favorite school by going to the ESPN app. All right, in this rotation, LSU's on beam, Florida on the floor, Georgia on vault, Kentucky on bars.
It's Katie Stewart for Kentucky on the bars, Christina Desiderio on balance beam in the bottom left for LSU.
And a good vault from Michaela McGee to start off Georgia on that event.
And Megan Skaggs on floor exercise. Only the second time in the floor lineup, but this routine just adds to the diversity of the choreography we're going to see from Florida.
Christina Desiderio opening up for LSU on beam. And Megan Skaggs for Florida on floor.
Two really important routines. Nice job with the double pike. Not quite the full split in those positions on the leaps for LSU. Cat leap into the gainer full. Solid routine for LSU to start. Very innovative choreography and music. Jeremy Miranda does all the choreography for the Florida Floors, and he's outdone himself this year. Tremendous job. Oh no, back one and after front layout, and wow, she just saved a fall big time. Now it'll be a deduction, but impressive to pull that out.
Callie Nixon on bars now for Kentucky.
Nice combination, those back-to-back release from low to high and back down to low bar.
Freshman from Miami, Florida.
Really nice handstand positions. Full pirouette into the tuck double back. Lost the landing there, had to take that step.
As a freshman, competed on uneven bars in every meet this year with a career high of 9.9. A few minutes ago, we saw Sabrina Vega on floor. Let's see if she caught her breath in time to get ready for vault.
Not easy events to go back-to-back when last up on floor, first up on bar. That little hop on that, very pretty Yurchenko full, I will say.
And Bridget Jean just started her work on the beam after Christina Desiderio, just like Florida, led off her team with a 9.9.
Very solid on that aerial cartwheel to back handspring, one of the more difficult acro series.
These first couple of beam routines have been a little bit of a question mark for LSU this year.
But they have really dialed them in. I like what I'm seeing here. Just a couple little form things. The back foot on a leap, and other than that, very solid, very composed.
Interesting that LSU had a season very different from any other season. Normally they come out of the gates flying. This year, because of injuries and other setbacks, they weren't able to come out as strong, but they have really poured it on late in the season.
Nice straight body line in those handstands. Big high straddle Jaeger right into the overshoot on the low bar. Might have been a tad short, but she finessed it on that last handstand. Another full pirouette to the double tuck. Those are easier dismounts, so they don't get that full difficulty there. But they add to it by showing that full pirouette before the dismount.
Elena Kwan, a junior from Cypress, California, for Kentucky there. Just a moment ago, Rachel Dixon.
This is a different vault. Half on front pike. It's a 10-0 start value.
Oh my.
And could not find that landing at all. Unfortunately, all of those steps will add up to pretty sizable deductions.
The two highest scores for Georgia are 2 9.85s for Michaela McGee and Sabrina Vega. The NCAA Women's Basketball Championship continues tomorrow at noon Eastern on ESPN2 with Louisville, the top seed in the Albany Regional, taking on number 8 Michigan in the second round. This game is also available live on the ESPN app.
Just saw Amelia Hunley finish a floor routine. Really nice job again for Florida.
That score on vault, unfortunately for Georgia, only a 9.575. Sammy Durante on beam now for LSU. Desiderio led them off with a 9.9. Bridget Dean followed up with a 9.85.
Watch this vault on the left. It's a double twist. We've only seen one other so far in this competition. Really, really well done. Such a dynamic vaulter. High level difficulty.
Boy, did they need that vault at that time in the lineup.
Nice job keeping that front foot down out of that layout step out. Had she lifted it up off the beam, it would have been a bigger deduction. Instead, it was just an adjustment. Here's her leap series. Little leggy and footy, meaning that the legs aren't quite locked out straight and the toes don't fully extend. But those are kind of micro deductions. They're not huge. But those are kind of the little flaws that I said the judges really need to separate by taking slight deductions for those. Nice job, though, getting that landing. Well done.
I got to say, LSU is really doing a superb job at clean execution and solid landings. They've been really impressive,
Absolutely.
Kathy.
All season long, they have just plugged away. They kept climbing. They've gotten better every single meet.
So Amelia Hunley's score on floor for Florida, a 9.85. After Megan Skaggs, only a 9.525. That brings up Nia Reed.
She's ranked 7th on this event. Opens with a double layout. Big double layup, but out of bounds. 10th of a point for stepping over the line. And then a slight deduction, well, more than slight deduction for the unsure landing.
Reed, the freshman from Landover, Maryland, hard to contain all that power. Alex Highland on bars for Kentucky, coming after Sydney Dukes got a 9.85. All scores for Kentucky are 9.8 or better so far there.
Beautiful.
It's a good event for them.
Height on that release move on bars. His nice extension. Good line on those handstands. Half in, half out. Perfect landing.
Kentucky, who has been off their game a bit today, really doing solid, consistent, clean routines on bars, hoping to get back in the discussion here.
Needs to keep this one inbounds, obviously, but try to land chest up and no movement. Much better on that landing. I like the little cha-ching. Unfortunately, she didn't cash in on that first tumbling pass. Lost a little bit of change there.
Go to Kennedy Edney now for LSU on beam. 9.875 is the score for Sammy Durante.
Kennedy has improved. Every year she has gotten better on balance beam, but always has been, I jinxed her. He's going to say rock solid for them in these situations. Little balance break there. I'm amazed at how little space she needs for that back handspring layout step out.
For such a tall young lady.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not quite sure how that works.
10-time All-American at LSU. Former NCAA vault champ. Talk about children of famous athletes. She's the daughter of former UCLA basketball star Tyus Edney. Molly Korth on bars now for Kentucky.
Front toss there. Again, a little bit of a balance check. Not a break really, but a check. So those little deductions will add up. She hasn't been perfect. Nice job in terms of getting that landing, though. That's the way you fight from start to finish, because meets like this, all of these little tenths of a point are going to count. Look at the dismount. I love it. Double layout with a full twist. Fabulous finish to that bar routine.
This has been one of the strongest events for Kentucky for the last few years, and a lot because of this young lady.
And this dismount is just fantastic. It is so difficult. She does it extremely well.
Really one of the best layout full-outs in the world. Molly Korth, the junior for Kentucky. Back to Alicia Boren now. You see her floor NQS. NQS stands for National Qualifying Score. That's a combination of your home and away scores, average the top 5. At least 3 of them have to be away scores, and that's how they rank these athletes.
As a senior, she has saved her best routine for her final year. This choreography suits her perfectly. Open with a double layout.
Nia Reed had only a 9.75, so that's the first bump in the road here we've seen so far for Florida.
Full energy in this routine and really showing the judges what they need to see. The positions in the air on the leaps, the precision of the landing, feet together. You never know, she's getting ready to do a very difficult tumbling pass. Just going to dance right into it.
Florida had a lead of 2/10 coming in this rotation, but LSU's been superb on beam, and Florida just a bit shaky here.
High tuck
Nice.
double back. She manages to keep those feet. She did not move them. Stepped into the lunge. Didn't want to give anything away. She didn't have to.
The superb senior from Franklin Lakes, New Jersey, Alicia Boren. What a career she has had for the Gators. 14-time All-American. Reagan Campbell set to go on beam for LSU, coming after Kennedy Edney's 9.85.
Really cool mount. The whole sequence all the way up till she stands on her feet really catches your attention. There's the difficulty, back handspring layout, step out. Love the way she keeps moving in this routine. Nice minor adjustment after that full turn, but she just kept it moving. That is a pro at work. Front aerial to the Sisson. Notice how she kept those arms going to connect those two elements. That's what you have to do to get the credit. Switch leap, beautiful position. Those are really nice. Full split in the air. Good amplitude. She can stick the landing. Super beam routine for her. Double twist.
Nice.
Oh, just a little hop. Ooh. She wanted the landing, I know that, but great routine.
The sophomore from Coppell, Texas, did her club training at Texas Dreams with Kim Zmeskal, the former world all-around champion.
You know when you got a good one going and you just wanted to get that landing. Ooh, so close.
The lowest score so far for LSU is a 9.85 on beam. And Trinity Thomas has given us highlights all year long in the regular season Let's see what she can do here on the podium in this SEC championship.
This is one of those routines that just has everything. The right feel, the look, and the difficulty. Double eight with a superb landing. Watch how she floats this. Front fold to front layout. And it's effortless in and out of the tumbling, right into the choreography. Would have liked to see that back leg just a little bit higher. I'm being picky on that ring.
Coach Jenny Rowland said if you could ever find a clone of Alex McMurtry, the former standout at Florida, it's this young lady. The same work ethic, the same precision, and attention to details.
Big dismount, pike double back as high as it gets. Finesses into that lunge. Strong finish. Great work. Love that routine. And you're right, she strives for perfection. I think on the first two events, we saw her maybe trying a little too hard.
Right.
Here she let it happen because there's a lot of natural ability and such superb technique in her gymnastics. She needs to trust it, so great job.
And just a moment ago, Sarah Finnegan mounted the beam for LSU, coming after Reagan Campbell's 9.875.
And you know how many eyes in the arena are on this balance beam routine. She has shown us perfection here. Opens with a wolf turn. Look at the high toe work. This is what sets her apart. Handsman layout step out, attacks that end position. Perfect split in the air. She's being extremely deliberate through this routine. Side somersault. Look at the toe point, the turnout of the leg. Like a ballerina on beam. It was gorgeous.
3 times in, she scored perfect 10s on bars, beam, and floor. And today, a very precise performance, and she gets a 9.95. So a 49.45 for LSU on the beam in that third rotation. Really impressive. Now, Alyssa Bauman, the sophomore for Florida. Trinity Thomas had a 9.95 before her.
Double top, really soft, controlled landing, really absorbed that nicely. Back 1.5, front full, right into the pose.
It's an important routine here for Florida because the score 9.75 for Reed is the one they want to replace. The 2 prior routines were 9.925 and 9.95 for Bourne and Thomas.
Here's what she does as well as anyone in NCAA gymnastics. Those leaps are so perfectly performed. Ends with another double back, this time in pike position, more difficult than the first. Much better landing, and the first one was good, so.
Outstanding.
That's probably her best routine of the season.
And boy, did Florida need it there. A score they're trying to replace is the 9.75, excuse me, the 9.525 from Megan Skaggs. And there is young Bailey Werner.
Oh, their adopted gymnast. She has been with them throughout the season.
Great that she's here with her family in Louisiana tonight.
Nice to see that form throughout. Pointed toes through the double back. And watch this. Great amplitude. Look how she rises off the floor and hits that picture perfectly in the air. Oh, she wants a 10. Bailey wants a 10.
And she's sitting on the lap of Alex McMurtry. So all kinds of greatness over there cheering for the Florida Gators. So here is the 9.525 for Megan Skaggs. It could have been worse, but she saved it. A little shaky for Nia Reed for the 9.75 is going out of bounds. So that put enormous pressure on the final two performers. They were both 9.95s, but Sarah Finnegan, in the meantime, over at Beam, crushed her own 9.95 for LSU.
And as always, the clutch performance, because both teams showed a little bit of nerves in that rotation, but finished strong.
So all the scores are in. So Florida has a slight lead. Alyssa Bauman, a 9.95. Florida with a lead of .175, less than 0.2 of a point as we get set for the fourth and final rotation. We knew it would come down to this. Can Florida land their vaults and hold on to this with a LSU team that's pouring it on floor next? And this one is close. Coming into the fourth and final rotation, Florida has the lead by .175, less than 0.2 of a point. There is Jenny Rowland in her fourth season as the head coach at Florida, doing a superb job. And just on Wednesday, the team had a special guest at practice.
All right, Gators, the secret's out.
You know, when you go walk out on that floor on Saturday, you have the opportunity to go win a championship, and that's something that can never be taken away from you. You don't have to be the best, but you have to be the best that you can be. And if you can, you challenge yourself that way, and you have the confidence to go be the best that you can be, great things are going to happen to you.
Nothing wrong with a little motivation from Dan Mullen, the head football coach at Florida. This team, we've talked about it all season long. These fabulous freshmen have really been game changers and added depth that Florida doesn't normally have, Kathy.
Oh, absolutely. They've been exciting all season long. We saw a little bit of nerves, but that you kind of expected that. I expected it early in the season, so they are human, but they have really made an impact, certainly for Florida, but in NCAA gymnastics.
And when we come back to New Orleans, they're going to be awarding this championship trophy to one of these four teams, and right now it's less than 0.2 of a point between Florida and LSU. Final rotation when we come back. And the stage is set for the fourth and final rotation. And as predicted, the top two teams within 0.2 of a point. Florida has the lead, but they're going into an event where they're vulnerable. LSU is going into an event where they are superb. It's all going now, all four routines at the same time. You go to the ESPN app and you can watch your favorite team. LSU on the floor, Florida on the vault, Georgia on the bars, and Kentucky on the beam in this fourth and final rotation.
Megan Skaggs for Florida on the vault. Yurchenko full. They need these landings. They have not gotten them all year, and first one really, really close.
That's going to be the key. Can Florida handle those landings? They've been inconsistent there all year long, and LSU has just been getting better and better each week. Ruby Harrell will lead them off on the floor.
And what a season she is having. Opens with that double twist. She's crossed over on that step. So that will be a deduction. She stepped to the side. She'll come back with a pike double back here. Needs the chest up. Freeze the feet. There's the landing.
LSU trying to win its 3rd consecutive SEC championship.
She had a little bit of feet on those leaps. Judges might take a tiny deduction for not fully pointing those toes at the top of the jump.
It's interesting, they've been a little bit dinged up here late in the season, so they haven't had as much practice. And actually the rest has done them some good because they've rested and their scores have gone up.
And they look better than ever. Back 1.5, front layout, good control there. Okay, really strong. There were definitely a couple little places where the judges can put pen to paper and take a little deduction. She stepped over, crossed over with that front foot on that first pass.
Just a moment ago for Florida, Sierra Alexander coming after Megan Skaggs at a 9.775.
Another Yurchenko full, 995 start value, just a little step. Actually, much better landing than we've seen in the past.
Boy, but you got to stick those because in this competition,
absolutely,
it's going to be every 0.5 tenth of a point that's going to matter. LSU is expected to just pour through their floor routines.
Now they move to their 10-0 start value vaults. This is where they need to take advantage of doing more difficult vaults, but they have to hit the landing. It won't matter if they don't stick their feet into the mat with no movement.
We saw her go out of bounds on floor earlier.
Big vault.
Good one.
Much better than she has done all season long. Just a little scuttle hop there. Pretty good block. A little bit of knees in the air and just a scoop with the feet.
Boy, but she lands a mile from the
She
full
does.
table.
That distance is huge. Maybe that'll make them forget the hop. I don't know.
The NCAA Women's Basketball Championship continues tomorrow at second round action on ESPN. First at 7 p.m. Eastern. Second seed UConn takes on 10 seed Buffalo. Then at 9, number 1 seed Mississippi State takes on 9 seed Clemson. Remember, all the games are also streaming live on the ESPN app. Christina Desiderio on floor now for LSU.
She opens with a double layout, and if she can just land with the chest a little higher than I've seen her do, she can get through this no deduction.
Ruby Harrell did a great job with a 9.875 to lead them off.
Double layout. Beautiful control on the landing. I think the chest was down a little bit, but she showed off the control so well. She does another double back here, out of the front, tuck, step out. Nice positions on those leaps. Really held the toe point as well throughout.
Desiderio is a sophomore from Hackettstown, New Jersey. 2018 All-SEC team.
Another double back, this time in pike position. She has shown...
Oh, they're fighting so hard.
They are definitely fighting. She had to work to get that pike double around. But you're right, I love to see the fight. She tried to keep those feet, no movement.
The LSU team not wanting to disappoint this largely partisan LSU crowd. Nearly 10,000 in the house tonight. Minute ago, Trinity Thomas for Florida coming after Nia Reed's 9.875.
And she has a gorgeous 1.5. I've never seen her stick the vault. Oh my gosh! I can't believe it. Well, no, I shouldn't say that. I do believe it. It's a beautiful vault. It's a gorgeous vault. It has been beautiful all season, but she's never gotten a landing like that, ever. What a time to pull it out.
And Adrian Burde, the coach responsible for vaulting, a high fives and a 9.95 for Trinity Thomas. Savannah Shane here after her.
1.5 twist. Let's see if she can get the landing. Oh, scoot back. She was thinking stick a little too soon. Couldn't quite get it.
Didn't quite get the height and amplitude. A 9.75 for her. So Alicia Boren will wrap up vault for Florida. Then we'll know what score LSU has to get if they're going to try to beat the Gators today.
On the edge of my seat. 1.5 big vault.
Oh, nice.
Woo! Okay, the coach was in my way just a little bit to see the feet, to see what the movement was. It was a nice vault in the air, though.
So their low score is a 9.75. They'll replace that with whatever Boren gets. But only one score above 9.9 for Florida there. Trinity Thomas, a 9.95. So a huge opportunity here for LSU because Florida has left the door open on vault.
And LSU is so thrilled to have Lexi Priestman back in the lineup on floor. She's not going to do her more difficult pass here. She usually does a full in, but they're playing it conservative to protect her ankles and just be clean.
Here's a young lady who has endured 9 surgeries throughout her gymnastic career. Most of them lower body surgeries. But even this year, she's recovering from a bicep tendon repair last summer. She has been a warrior, the senior from Cincinnati, Ohio.
Good fight for that landing. Chest was a little bit down, but she jumped up forward a little. Back 1.5 front layout. Crowd loved it. Wonderful to see her perform so well on floor exercise in front of this crowd. They loved it.
The 5-time All-American gets the stick crown, and she's known by her teammates as the mayor of Happyville, spreading a lot of joy here in Louisiana tonight. Rachel Dixon for Georgia on bars. Georgia's high score there so far, Alexa Alhamid, a 9.9.
Big release move there. The Ray out of that toe on. Good bail handstand. Little short on that final handstand. Dismount though, full twisting double layout, really difficult. Finish is so strong.
Strong rotation there, actually. Georgia has been rather inconsistent on bars, but they have 2 9.9s. Megan Roberts got one as well. All right, so the scores are all in for Florida. The 9.875, the final score for Alicia Boren. So the team total, the final score for Florida, they're done early because vault finishes earlier, is a 197.75. So we will know routine by routine, and in fact landing by landing, what LSU needs if they're going to try to upend Florida and win their 3rd consecutive SEC championship. They need to average 9.9 over the final competitors to pass Florida. And here, Kennedy Edney. Lexi Priestman got a 9.9 herself.
Riskiest part of the routine is right here, double Arabian.
Oh! Drilled it.
Nailed, just drilled that landing. And listen to the crowd. They might as well be competing at home. This is like home crowd.
You can just tell how badly this LSU team wants it. See them fighting for every landing.
just spot on. She struggled a little bit in the season to find, especially that first tumbling run. But what a time to find all three. This one especially, half twist into the double front. The teeniest of shuffles there, but look at this, just drills it. Puts those feet down, steps into the lunge, and says, how about that?
And the home crowd nearly in a frenzy. We're just about an hour's drive from Baton Rouge, and Dee Dee Bro knows they're pouring it on. Keep in mind, this is a 4-team meet. Georgia and Kentucky are still competing, but this one is truly coming down to what we expected, which is LSU in Florida for the championship.
Sydney is ranked 6th on this event. You can see why. She just has such good flow, rhythm.
Meanwhile, on the bars, Georgia had 4 9.9s. So on an event where they have been vulnerable, they finished very strong. They should be happy with their score of a 197 even. Great job for the Gym Dogs.
Beautiful job on those leaps. On balance beam, really showed nice positions in the air. The dismount, a nice high floaty 1.5 twist. Good job.
The score is in for Kennedy Edney. There it is, a 9.925. And she wears the stick crown for sticking all 3 landings in that routine. Superb. Sarah Finnegan will be next for LSU, and McKenna Kelly will be their final performer. Here is Finnegan, who has been nothing more than less than superb for LSU her entire career.
And stellar so far in this competition. This routine has everything. Some routines have tumbling, some have dance, some have performance. Watch this, 1.5 to 2.5 twist, elegantly drops out of that. Very difficult pass.
Keep in mind, if Finnegan and Kelly can average 9.9, LSU will win their 3rd consecutive SEC championship right here.
Beautiful presentation. So this is when you wish they could give bonus, because there are things she is so superior with in this routine.
Scoring update, if Finnegan gets a 9.925, now that we have the other scores in, she can win it for LSU now, even before their final performer, McKenna Kelly, will go.
Best leaps in the competition right there. Stuck landing will do it. Right here. Pike double back. Chest up. There it is. And you know what? They may go 10. I'm sorry. There are, first of all, stuck all 3 passes. And the perfection level of her performance. The exquisite.
Judges, just put your pencils down.
Yeah, exactly.
You have nothing to write down. That was superb on every level.
Because even if I could find something, they have now painted themselves into this corner. They have to. 2.5 twists. Look how tight that twist is. Just floats this in. That's a chest up on a landing. That's what the judges need to see. And right here, no movement.
And Kathy, you're right. It's a 10. Oh my goodness. Sarah Finnegan.
Well deserved. Well deserved. Good for her.
The superb senior for LSU. What a highlight in front of 10,000 adoring fans. She needed a 9.925 and she delivered a perfect 10. What a moment for this LSU team. They will win the championship here, and yet there's one athlete to go, and that's the daughter of Mary Lou Retton, McKenna Kelly, essentially going out for an encore. McKenna Kelly herself has tasted perfection this year and scored a perfect 10.
And she has the crowd behind her. This is a contrast in styles right here. Completely different routines you'll see. Power, if she can get the double layout and the chest up, it's the only thing. It was nice form, but that chest is down on the landing, so they will probably take the deduction.
Keep in mind, this is the first meet of the year that the athletes have been competing in front of 4 judges. So in order to get a perfect 10, you throw out the high and the low. You have to have 3 judges give you a perfect 10, and that's what Finnegan got.
She has dialed that middle tumbling pass in really well. Bergete half, tucked 1.5. Really nice on the second jump.
Year and a half ago, she tore her Achilles tendon. She's back in the lineup in the anchor spot for LSU.
Beautiful control on the tuck double back. This was a great routine. What a feeling that must be.
One of the super seniors. You have every right to be proud, Mama.
And there's a lot of mamas out there that are proud. This mama, and they're not even my kids. I'm proud of them all. Every last one of them.
What a thrilling finish to this SEC championship. And there comes the trophy.
Woo-hoo!
For the 3rd year in a row. LSU is going to win. Florida gave him a great fight, but Florida was a little vulnerable in that last rotation. LSU saw an opening and just ran through it. Holding up that trophy right in front are the 4 super seniors. What a deserving team. Their 3rd consecutive championship.
How sweet for this team. It's just proof to everybody out there. It's not how you start, it's how you finish, because their season started out slow. It was a little rocky at times, but they fought through it and have peaked at the right time, and what a moment for this team.
With the score of 197.85 by 1/10 of a point, they have every right to celebrate. The score is in for McKenna Kelly. It's a 9-9, and that score goes up to a 197.9. So by 0.15, LSU wins their 3rd consecutive SEC championship. Florida will be 2nd, Georgia 3rd with a 197, and Kentucky in 4th. In an earlier session, Alabama had a 197.35, so that will actually place them 3rd in the SEC championship. So it's LSU, Florida, and Alabama 1, 2, and 3. When we come back to New Orleans, we'll wrap up a thrilling night of gymnastics. What a day here at the SEC championships. With a thrilling finish on floor, gets a 197.9 to defeat Florida 197.75. So Dee Bro in her 42nd year, her fourth SEC title, but her third in a row. And of course, Sarah Finnegan, not only did you win the all-around, but you won bars, beam, and floor, and you capped it off with a perfect 10 on floor.
I didn't know that.
So what a superb way to wrap up your senior year in the SEC Championship. First of all, Dee, I mean, you've won a lot, but this one had to feel special.
Well, we've been trying for years to bring this incredible event to the city of New Orleans, the state of Louisiana. Everybody got behind it, and what an event. I mean, the fans were amazing.
Dee, we talked about your season, and this was like a K2 mountain climb for you guys, starting out slow, a little rocky at times.
Yeah.
Walk us through what got you to this moment.
Beating Alabama at Alabama was critical for us, but then we went to the podium meet, the Jim Porter's, the Mardi Gras meet in St. Louis, and the kids had an incredible experience, and they kind of took charge themselves. And the one thing that we've said all along is keep the wind in your flag. Keep moving up the hill and keep the wind in your flag. And they did it. It was amazing.
Now, Sarah, you know, we've used all the superlatives we can on you. Sublime, exquisite, perfection, everything we can think of. And yet tonight was even more magical. Tell us what's going through your mind right now.
I mean, I'm so pumped. That was the goal. One of the goals going into this season and going into postseason was an SEC championship. And we knew that it was going to be tough. We knew that we had great teams on the floor. I mean, SEC is a tough conference, and so we need to start off strong, end up strong. It doesn't really matter where the scores are, where we are in placement. We just need to finish strong, and that's exactly what we did.
I remember at one point I even called you Sarah Finesse again, because just the finesse and the beauty and the poise and all that you show. Can you talk about the quality of your gymnastics? There's just something special and what that means to you.
Oh, thank you. I mean, it's something. It's something that I worked on since I was a little girl. You know, I came from a really strong foundation.
You can just see why we're gasp-worthy.
Yeah.
We're watching your gymnastics. We were just simply blown away with just how perfect you were in this competition. What a day for you.
Thank you so much. But I mean, I wouldn't be where I am without my teammates, without the coaches, without just being a part of LSU. I mean, look around. This whole place is covered in yellow and purple. It's amazing.
I thought it was especially appropriate that the four seniors hoisted that trophy together. Yeah. What did that mean to you with those three other young ladies? What a journey you've had.
It has been an amazing journey. Coming in freshman year, we wanted that SEC title. We didn't quite get it, but I mean, next 3 years, we blew it out of the park. But we talked about, we had a little huddle at the end. We're like, hey, we just knocked off something out of our goals, but we're not finished. We're gonna keep climbing, and we're gonna get it to nationals.
Well, I know my challenge before nationals. I have to come up with another superlative for you because we've run out of description. You were just stunning.
Y'all were amazing. Your coverage has been fabulous, and let's bring this thing back to New Orleans because it was great.
We had a great time too. You got regionals in 2 weeks
at home.
And nationals. So you're going to host the regional, and then the NCAA championships, and we're looking forward to being there to cover it. So where do you go from here? Because it seemed like this year, as Kathy mentioned, was a little unusual for you all, and yet when it counted, you guys were there.
It started slow, and we knew we had to, but one of our goals was to get Lexi Priestman in 3 events. Lexi helps this team be better, and that was a huge accomplishment for us. So pacing her now as we go into the postseason, or the rest of the postseason, getting enough rest, and just keep doing what we're doing.
Well, it came together perfectly, and it continues to come together.
Great.
So thank you so much.
Thank y'all.
Congratulations on your 4th SEC championship, your 3rd in a row, and congratulations to you as well, Sarah.
That's amazing. Go Tigers.
Go Tigers.
When we come back, we'll wrap it up from New Orleans. What a thrilling meet. We're glad you joined us, folks. A thriller down to the final performances. Do the do, and by Degree Deodorant. The final score tonight from New Orleans, what a thriller. LSU, in front of an adoring crowd, pours it on in the final rotation. They trailed the entire meet and came on strong on floor to win this one. Wow, what a thriller. I'm Bart Connor along with Kathy Johnson-Clark. I think the scenario played out as we thought, that Florida would probably have a lead, but could they hang on vault in the last rotation? But they were not strong enough to contend with LSU?
Everything was almost exactly as I expected. Those first 3 rotations, I knew it was going to come to that. And knowing that Florida has stepped and bounced their way through the season on vault, they did improve. That is the positive, because they actually did improve, but didn't come up with enough sticks to hold off LSU on the floor exercise. And then Sarah Finnegan, well, what can you say about that?
She's magical, and of course she finished the night on a perfect 10 to clinch it for LSU, their 4th SEC championship, the 3rd in a row. A wonderful night here from New Orleans, and you know, the next time we're going to be doing this together is about a month from now. We'll be covering the NCAA semifinals, Session 1 and Session 2 on April 19th at 1 and 7 Eastern. Will be on ESPN2. Those are 2 quad meets. And then the NCAA finals of the top 4 teams in the country, April 20th at 7 p.m. Eastern, will be on ESPNU. And of course, expecting to see a thriller there with just 4 teams on the floor. And I anticipate that LSU and Florida will be among those 4, perhaps Oklahoma and UCLA the others. What do you think,
Absolutely.
Kathy?
Things are going to tighten up. It will be intense for sure. There may be even some opportunities for some upsets, but they're going to fight their way all the way through to the finish, and I think Nationals is going to be sensational.
So we were hoping for a great night here in New Orleans, and we got it. Our winner is LSU. They win their 3rd straight SEC championship. Next on ESPN app is the SEC Championship Trophy Ceremony. And don't miss the NCAA Gymnastics Championships beginning with the semifinals on April 19th on ESPN2. For Kathy Johnson-Clark, I'm Bart Conner. We're glad you joined us. So long from New Orleans.
Ladies and gentlemen, your 2019 SEC Scholar Athletes of the Year. Now, ladies and gentlemen, earlier this week, the Southeastern Conference announced the SEC Community Service Team for gymnastics. 8 SEC gymnasts, 1 from each institution, were named to the team. When your name is called, please stand and wave to be recognized. From the University of Alabama, Shay Mahoney. From Auburn University, Michaela Burton. University of Arkansas, Taylor Krippner. Florida, Amanda Cheney. From the University of Georgia, Rachel Lucas. From Kentucky, Sydney Dukes. From LSU, Lexi Riesman. And from Missouri, Brittany Ward. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we will present the Meet Awards for the 2019 Southeastern Conference Gymnastics Championship. Once again, here to present the awards, Associate Commissioner Tiffany Daniels. In our championship vault competition, we have multiple ties for 3rd place, scoring 9-9. From Georgia, Sydney Sneed. Auburn, Darian Goburn. Arkansas, Amanda Ellswick. Alabama, Lexi Graber. LSU, McKenna Kelly. LSU, Ruby Harold. And LSU's Sarah Finnegan. Second place in our championship vault competition with a 9.925 score. From Kentucky, Molly Korth. And ladies and gentlemen, your vault champion with a 9.95 from the Florida Gators, Trinity Thomas. Ladies and gentlemen, first, second, and your ties for third place in the SEC Vault Championship. And now we'll present the awards for the winners of the uneven bars. Again, multiple ties for fourth place, all scoring 9-9. From Georgia, Rachel Dixon. Georgia, Alexa Alhamid. Georgia, Megan Roberts. And also from Georgia, Marissa Oakley. Two Florida Gators, Savannah Shanehair and Amelia Hunley. And Arkansas Razorback, Sarah Schaefer. Second place in the uneven bars, both scoring 9.925. From Florida, Megan Skaggs. And from LSU, Lexi Priestman. And ladies and gentlemen, your SEC Uneven Bars champion with a 9.95 score, from LSU, Sarah Finnegan. Ladies and gentlemen, your Uneven Bars champions. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the balance beam. A tie for sixth place, 9.925. Are the scores for Kentucky's Alex Highland and Alabama's Shannon Olson. And now, ladies and gentlemen, there is a five-way tie for the Balance Beam Championship, all scoring 9.95. From the Florida Gators, Rachel Gowie, Alyssa Ballman, and Megan Skaggs. From Alabama, Lexi Graber. And from LSU, Sarah Finnegan. Ladies and gentlemen, your Balance Beam champions. Now, ladies and gentlemen, to the floor exercise, where we have a five-way tie for fourth place. All scoring 9925. For Georgia, Rachel Dixon. Florida, Alicia Boren. Alabama, Ariana Guerra. Alabama, Lexi Graber. And from LSU, Kennedy Edney. Second place, a tie with 995 scores for Florida's Alyssa Bauman and Trinity Thomas. And ladies and gentlemen, your 2019 SEC Floor Exercise Champion with a perfect 10 from LSU, Sarah Finnegan. Ladies and gentlemen, your first, second, and fourth place finishers on the floor at the SEC Championship. And now, ladies and gentlemen, to the all-around. A three-way tie for fourth place, each scoring 39,525. For Kentucky's Molly Korth, Florida's Alicia Boren, and LSU's Kennedy Edney. And third place in the all-around with a 39,575 score from the Florida Gators, Trinity Thomas. Second place in the all-around with a 39,650 from Alabama, Lexi Graber. And ladies and gentlemen, your 2019 SEC All-Around Champion with a score of 39,800 from LSU, Sarah Finnegan. Ladies and gentlemen, these are your all-around champions in the Southeastern Conference for 2019. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to recognize our SEC All-Freshman team. These are the top scores on each event for both the first and second session, and the top two all-around scores for each session. Please stand up and wave to be recognized. 39,250 all-around score for Auburn's Darian Goburn. Darian is also recognized for her 9.9 vault score and her 9.85 bar score. Shalyn Olson of Alabama, 9.875 on vault. Kennedy Hambrick for Arkansas, 9.825 on bars. Shalyn Olson for Alabama, 9.925 on beam. Kennedy Hambrick of Arkansas, 9'9" on beam. Amanda Elswick, Arkansas, 9'9" on beam. Darian Gobert of Auburn, 9'9" on floor. Kennedy Hambrick of Arkansas, 9'8" on floor. And Amanda Elswick of Arkansas, 9'8" on floor. Also being recognized, Trinity Thomas of Florida, 39.575 in the all-around and 9.95 on vault. Savannah Shanehair of Florida, 9'9" on bars. Trinity Thomas, 9'8" on bars. Rachel Dixon of Georgia, 9'9" on floor. Rachel Lucas of Georgia, 9'8" on floor. Nia Reed of Florida, 9'8" on vault. Trinity Thomas of Florida, 9'9" on floor. Rachel Lucas of Georgia, 9'8" on floor. Megan Roberts of Georgia, 9'9" on bars. And Alexa Alhamid of Georgia, 9'9" on bars. Ladies and gentlemen, the all-freshman team. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we'll recognize the members of the SEC All-SEC team. Once again, gymnasts, please stand and wave as your name is called. On vault from session number 1, Lexi Graber of Alabama, Amanda Elswick of Arkansas, Darian Gobert of Auburn, and Shalyn Olson of Alabama. On vault in session 2, Trinity Thomas of Florida, Molly Korth of Kentucky, Sarah Finnegan of LSU, Ruby Harold of LSU, McKenna Kelly of LSU, and Sydney Sneed of Georgia. Now your all-SEC uneven bars team from session number 1, Sarah Schaefer of Arkansas, Lexi Graber of Alabama, Shay Mahoney of Alabama. In session 2, Sarah Finnegan of LSU, Megan Skaggs of Florida, and Lexi Priestman of LSU. Now all-SEC beam team from session number 1, Lexi Graber of Alabama, Shalyn Olson of Alabama, Kennedy Hambrick, Arkansas, and Amanda Elswick of Arkansas. From session 2, all-SEC beam team, Rachel Gowie of Florida, Megan Skaggs of Florida, Alyssa Bauman of Florida, and Alex Highland of Kentucky. Now, ladies and gentlemen, your all-SEC floor team. From session number 1, Ariana Guerra of Alabama, Lexi Graber of Alabama, Maddie Desch, Alabama, Abby Armbrecht, Alabama, Darian Gobert of Auburn. All SEC from session number 2 on the floor, Sarah Finnegan of LSU, Trinity Thomas of Florida, and Alyssa Bauman of Florida. And now, ladies and gentlemen, your all-SEC all-around team. From session number 1, Lexi Graber of Alabama, Kennedy Hambrick of Arkansas, Darian Gobert of Auburn. And from session number 2, Trinity Thomas of Florida, and Sarah Finnegan of LSU. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time for your all-SEC performers. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we will recognize the winners of the team competition. Teams, please stand together when you are recognized. In 8th place, with a score of 195.9, Missouri. Seventh place with a score of 196.225, Kentucky. Sixth place with a score of 196.375, Auburn. In 5th place with a score of 196.475, Arkansas. Fourth place with a score of 197 even, Georgia. Third place with a score of 197.350, Alabama. Second place with a score 197.750, the Florida Gators. And ladies and gentlemen, the champions of the 2019 SEC Women's Gymnastics Championship with a score of 197.90, the Fighting Tigers of LSU. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, your SEC champions, the Fighting Tigers of LSU. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Southeastern Conference, thank you for helping us set a record. All of you fans who came out and support the best in women's collegiate gymnastics here at the 2019 SEC Gymnastics Championship. And again, congratulations to our team and individual champions. Good luck to everyone competing in the NCAA Regionals and National Championship, April 19th and 20th in Fort Worth, Texas. We look forward to seeing you next year in Duluth, Georgia. Thank you, fans. Travel home safely, and good night.